Hello shining stars, welcome to Mah'ela channel. So before I start, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for following me, listening to my videos, for your comments. It's really, sometimes really strange to hear or to read the comments and I'm like, okay, who are they talking about? And I realize they are talking people, you guys are talking about me. So it feels, I'm still integrating, you know, all these things. It still feels like really, really strange and really like just whoa. It's so magnificent and beautiful and a little bit overwhelming. Like, okay, people see that about me, you know, I'm still also going through the process of growing, let's say, you know, we are all following the same path, following the path of growth and elevation and vibrating higher and higher. So I wanted to say thank you. Thank you to you all and gratitude to you all for all of this, for all this love you give me and transmit, you know, to me and all your comments and everything. Thank you. So today I will go on now and talk about intuition and vibrating in the heart. What is intuition and feeling, you know, being in your heart? Many people ask me when I give some healing sessions. I had several times this question. They're asking me, but okay, you tell me to follow my instinct, my intuition. But what is it? What is intuition? What is it exactly? Like concretely, what is intuition? And how do you distinguish intuition from your mind, you know, the work of your mind and the ego and the mind ego? And what does it mean when, and then I say, you know, it's when you feel it in your heart. Yeah. And then I had the question, what does it mean? Feel it in your heart, like like, you know, you're inside, or you feel your heartbeat, or you listen to your heartbeat, or what does it really mean concretely? And how do you connect to these things, and how do you feel about this inside? Like, what are you supposed to feel? So I will try to answer from my own perspective and experience. There are many explanations about that. I haven't read anything. I'm just gonna talk from my own experience and from instinct, you know, from my own intuition, seeing like what, you know, like how, like telling you what vibrates actually within me and how it has unfolded for me. So when people talk about intuition, usually we are like, okay, it's, you know, like this inner voice that you have inside telling you, like, for example, you're, you know, in a new city and you're like, okay, where should I go? Sometimes I get lost, but now like this person indicates that I should go that way to visit from, you know, point A to B, but I feel maybe I should go that way to see something different, or maybe that's the right path. And then you're like, yeah, but they told me it's that way. So you follow the path, which is maybe the longest, and your own intuition would have indicated something else. Not necessarily the easiest path, but maybe a path where it would have led you to see something else interesting for you, or to discover something else. Then there is also sometimes, you know, like you feel, okay, I listen to my intuition. You feel that way, that you listened to yourself, but the result was negative. Like, for example, someone recommends you, or you're looking for some, you know, therapist for something, like healing sessions maybe, and you see the, you know, different names, or you find different persons on the internet, and you're like, okay, I'm hesitating, but okay, my intuition tells me to go to that one. And you are not satisfied with the results. So you're like, okay, my intuition is so wrong. I can't really listen to myself. I always make the wrong choices, the wrong decisions. But was it really the instinct talking, the intuition? Did it really vibrate in your heart, or did it vibrate with your mind? So that's also the distinction. So there is that comes into play. Was it really the intuition or really the mind? Because it's not always, it's quite subtle, to distinguish the both of them. And also, sometimes we have a negative experience, or we feel that it's negative. We believe that it's negative, but what if it was maybe our soul asking us to make what feels like a wrong decision to our mind in order for us to have this experience? So for example, let's say you went to see some healer, you have back problems, you go and see one person and you're not satisfied with the result, and you say like, compared to all what I heard and all what I read and my instinct, which was to see that person, it didn't work. Maybe you had to learn something from that experience. Maybe that's why you had to see that person, to be able to discover what works better for you and what you like or don't like. Like sometimes we are like, okay, let's take for example, something very concrete, some class or something, you want to learn, let's say something, I don't know, some shamanic weekend or something more spiritual or something that feels attractive, and you go. But you're disappointed, the result was not as expected, but you still learned something from that. And you learned that, okay, this is not for me. So in that sense, the result is not negative, because you always learn something. You didn't get what you expected from the experience, but you still learn something, and that something is to say, okay, now I know that it's not for me, but this other stuff are maybe more for me. So that was, the intuition led you to that place in order to show you, where your path is. So it's very subtle. And sometimes there is also the mind really comes into play. Like suddenly we wake up in the morning and we're like, oh yeah, this thing, I feel like I would like to buy some amethyst crystal for me. And then you go to the shop to buy this amethyst, and then you start to read like, but for stress, this crystal would be better, and this is better for, like, then you end up buying something else. And in the end, you're like, yeah, they're okay, but maybe the amethyst would have been good. Like you still like focus, the mind is going and on and on and on. But the first instinct that in the end you didn't listen was maybe the right one. If you have this first thing that comes within you, like vibrating you, usually that's the right thing. And okay, so what does it mean to be in the heart, feel in the heart? It's not the heartbeat only that you feel, but it's more like inside, it's here on that place. You feel a bit like it vibrates sometimes. It's like it's thrumming a bit, like something is moving, a bit like tickling almost. Like for example, there is, let's say, a new book that you want to buy on some spiritual teaching, and there are many books and you don't know which one, will be good for you. So one thing that I sometimes do, so I see all those books and I'm like, okay, which one? I ask my own soul. I ask my own, inner like radar, my own inner voice. I ask like, which one of those would be more, would bring me something extra, something more, something, that I can really benefit from. And then you can be in front of these books and wait for your body to react, like which one, the body would feel like attracting, like moving towards something. And then another one, and you feel like, no, you're like pushed away. You feel like the energy is either attracting you, like physically moving towards the thing, or then on the opposite, like moving away. Or like you want to, like, I will show you something. This pendulum. So I have this pendulum, and it's dark, and many people are like, yeah, I don't want something black. Well, I was like this also before, but this I got it from a friend, and I'm still thanking because it's really vibrates with me actually and connects with me. But the first time I saw it, it was at a friend's place, and this pendulum didn't resonate with him, although it was like it had been like advised, I think, for him, but the connection didn't occur. And I saw my eye like going like, wow, what is that thing? Like, and it was like instant bound, and I was like, I know that that thing can, we can connect. Like, it was from the heart. I felt it inside. Like, there was no questioning to that. And of course, after the mind came in, and I was like, no, it's not mine. It's my friend's pendulum. And it's dark. Usually, I prefer lighter colors. So the mind started to play around, and then I was, should I ask about it or not? You know, like, so for 10 minutes, the mind is playing around. And then my friend said, yeah, but, you know, I don't use it and all that. It doesn't, because then we talked about it. And then suddenly he said, like, then I took it in my hand, and I felt the energy, like somehow like a bond, you know, like some bounding. And then it was, well, you can have it. Because obviously you like it, but also it just, you know, like connects with you. And but that was like a very good example of this intuition. Like, there is something, and there is this instant attraction. Like, you are attracted, and you can't explain why. And then you know it's good for you. And then after the mind and all that comes. But then when we feel we make the wrong decisions based on our intuition, that we don't have a good intuition and all that, it's not necessarily negative. It's to really teach us something also. But I want to add to that the intuition can be at the beginning. Sometimes it's very hard to distinguish intuition from mind work. So we have the feeling that, okay, I listened to myself, but did you really listen to the heart, to this vibrating thing inside, to this happy attraction, like, oh, something makes you like excited, you know? Or is it just like is it really the deep inside, or just this like mental like mind excitement, you know, or ego excitement, like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna, you know, and do this and this and this and buy these new things. And sometimes it feels like it's the intuition leading us to that, but it can be everything around us, you know, like creating this mayhem and feeling it's attracting us. But the intuition, it's really something you feel deep, deep, deep inside, like an inner voice, like a radar, like instinct. It's not just like the desires of wanting something or feeling you should do something. It's not like, no, it's actually more feeling. It's not like, yeah, desires of having something. It's more being. It really echoes within, you know, like feeling like, yes, that's really, really, really what I would like, you know, to do. Like when I went to study, I was so lost with what to do with my life when I finished high school, and then I stopped for a while. I was feeling like, no, these things are not for me at all. And then I found out about sociology and going to the UK and studying in England. And I remember when I found out, it was like something, but it was so strong inside, like you cannot explain it. And suddenly I felt like I saw some blue light opening, like a fan. It was like opening, like something, like almost a mystical experience, you know, like I was 19 and I was like, what is that happening to me? But it was really like so powerful. And then I just knew. I knew it was the right decision. Like it's so powerful, nothing could stop you. And I didn't know, like thinking of it now, I'm talking about that, you know, I didn't know back then it was intuition, but it was. And like when I came to Finland also, I didn't know there was some attraction. I didn't know why I took those decisions. That's the thing, maybe like it's like when we have this intuition, we don't know, we cannot explain why, but we feel like, I'm sorry, but I have to meet that person. I have to follow that path. There is something, I need to live that experience. It's more like, it's very difficult to distinguish, from what is really like the mind telling us and what is really like echoing in vibrating physically from inside our heart. And like but we can really do this exercise sometimes, that we are like in front of let's say like even a decision to take, and we are not sure. Like sometimes I just write it down and I'm like, okay, and I meditate on it in the way that I ask my own self, my own soul, like, what do you think? And then you feel like the attraction or not, like it's very interesting how you just enter and reconnect to your body and to the heart area, and that's when you feel like like if it attracts you or not. And about intuition also, it's something that you can develop. It's not, we have learned to really not trust ourselves. So it's about self-love and self-trusting as well. We have learned to just follow the mind, and being cut from our first instinct. We have learned also as humans with modern society, modern life, to be disconnected from ourselves and from our instinct. So we tend to not even know what intuition is, not even know what being in the heart means. When I say that to many, let's say, common people, who didn't have any awakening yet, they are like completely lost with that, and they think like I'm from another planet. When I say, well, just listen to yourself, like your inner self, your inner feelings, and they're like, yeah, you're all about feelings, and but they have completely, they say, yeah, you need to analyze and that and that and that, and you analyze what can be good, and you have the pros and cons, and like, no, that's not how I take decisions anymore. It's really like what feels like echoing with myself, with my own being. Does it feels good or not inside? When I'm like, okay, maybe I should move to this other house. I don't know which one feels like, okay, how does it feel inside? Do you really feel like the attraction without feeling or thinking about the rest? Yeah, we need to move, we need to that, you have a new find new friends in the new city, but what in the first place, do you feel? You want to change life, let's say. Well, maybe that's the intuition. Maybe you should listen to this intuition, and when you start listening to that, everything else is suddenly like falling into place. And then the path is just in front of you. So the more you listen to this inner radar, this inner voice, and that's the most reliable voice you can have within you. It's the inner one. It's not external. It's not like some outer guide. No, you are the own guide inside. So when you start to really listen to this inner voice, like it requires a little bit of training, doing it, for small things at first, and then you start to trust this inner voice. And that's really it's the best guide you can have. It's the most reliable one, like guide and voice that you can have. It's really within yourself, like centering, becoming centered within yourself, and listening really, like not to the mind, but feeling, the thrumming, the kind of tickling inside, and like, okay, what does it feel like? What does it makes me feel? Do I feel like happiness, or do I feel like something's dodgy, is not for me? Or do you feel like, oh, what if And then the mind comes in, and you know, everything is like sort of lost. But what is the very first thing, instinct that you felt? And that's usually, you know, like the intuition speaking and telling you, like, pay attention to that, and dig into it, and like maybe listen to it, and feels, you know, listen to where it could lead you. So I will stop here, and I will make a transmission in codes to try to reconnect, to help you reconnect yourself with your own inner voice, inner heart, intuition. Let's breathe. Tarasha kanaro kuna morto shono ro koro de testana narash nera koro chokro dinamo rakanyasha. In this process of listening to your own intuition, just trust it. Trust your own intuition, trust your own voice, trust yourself. Tarashana rota narani ha sada karani tu koramu shanarani sara kuni dishna taharite ha karate sonorokti jne nomorti sa hakarti joku tanaharti joko. This requires also yourself to start to recognize yourself and love yourself and be kind to yourself. Trust your intuition, even if it feels sometimes you are not on the right path. It will just lead you to learn more things. Trust your intuition and be grateful to yourself for any path that you are following, any decisions, inner decisions, like hard decisions that you are taking. Remember to love yourself in this process. Tarukto hone tuktisnu kumu yunushi ta nahadeke aretas tu to munuku yutukumunu tasnikata rakta rakutukunu sa umurujin tukone tatasti ta hada karakti anna ukum to suhotukti hishinukurinakuro. Your inner voice is the best voice you will ever hear. The most reliable one. Artista hardi jukni nyamortisto tasaktar karine hatakri chasha artistu kurteta naranyaka tasakrakto to nainagruku amurjish de hatakti arikarakta tesor katinjuno karahagu karin yumuka. So krtestekina rotujno kuki jakina harkta kuso ta sangda jarakti harikrokrok. Trust yourself, trust your intuition. Ta sakrahaka, feel your heart vibrating, your inner heart vibrating within yourself. That's your real true inner voice. Tasahakretisa najnoro tusu tasanjimoro tesokornya kayeptiama. Tostarona shnagoronosnya. Tasakarastunjokumukti. Tasnoro tasogniaka. Take your time to come back to yourself. Breathe deep within. Tastanaragde shatakano. Breathe deeply. Take some time to rest now, to integrate all the energy of these codes Tasaharaktejoka. I love you all very, very, very much from all my heart. Keep on shining brighter and vibrating higher. Talk to you soon.